Welcome back to Old Coin Adventures. A 1962 D. Lincoln penny may look like just another old coin, but there is a reason experienced collectors don't rush past pieces like this. At first glance, you might notice nothing unusual. The date looks ordinary, the design is familiar, and the coin may seem like something worth only a single cent. But take a closer look. The Denver Mint mark, the condition, the tiny details around Lincoln, and the overall strike can tell a very different story. One overlooked feature could be the reason a collector decides to examine this penny much more carefully. And here's the interesting part. You don't need expensive equipment to start the search. With good lighting, a close look, and the right knowledge, you can begin checking the details yourself. In this video, we'll uncover what makes certain 1962 D. Lincoln pennies more desirable, which signs deserve your attention, and what common damage should not be mistaken for a valuable mint error. We'll also reveal the potential value, look at real market and auction results, and explain where a promising specimen can be professionally examined or sold. So, if a 1962 D penny is sitting somewhere in your collection or an old coin jar, stay with me, because the smallest detail may be the one that changes everything. Now let's take a much closer look at the 1962 D. Lincoln penny, because this is the kind of coin that can easily be overlooked. At first glance, it may seem like nothing more than an old memorial cent from the early 1960s. The date is familiar, the design is common, and millions of Lincoln cents were produced during this era. But collectors know that the date alone is never the whole story. When a 1962 D penny is examined carefully, several details can make a major difference. The condition, color, strike quality, mint mark, and any unusual characteristics can all affect how collectors view the coin. So, let's start with the basics. Take a close look at the date. Make sure the numbers are clearly defined and examine the area around them for anything unusual. You're not simply looking for an old date. You're looking for characteristics that separate one individual coin from the many ordinary examples that were produced. Now move your attention to the small D mint mark. That tiny letter tells us that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, and it is an important part of identifying the exact issue we're examining. But don't make the mistake of thinking that the D mint mark automatically makes this penny rare. It doesn't. The real question is, what condition is the coin in, and does it have anything else that makes it stand out? This is where the search becomes much more interesting. Look carefully at Lincoln's portrait. Examine the hair, cheek, jawline, and the field surrounding the design. If the penny has spent many years circulating, you'll normally see scratches, contact marks, discoloration, and wear across the highest points. That's completely normal. But an unusually sharp example is a different story. If the original details are still strong, the surfaces are relatively clean, and the coin has retained its original reddish copper appearance, collectors may take a much closer interest. And color matters more than many new collectors realize. Copper Lincoln cents are commonly described as brown, red, and brown, or red depending on how much of their original color and surface quality they have retained. A coin with strong original red color and exceptional preservation can be considerably more desirable than an otherwise similar piece that has turned brown or suffered heavy circulation. So, when you're checking your 1962 D penny, don't just ask, is it old? Ask a better question. What condition is it really in? Now turn the coin over. Study the memorial building, the lettering, the rim, and the open fields. Look for anything that appears unusually doubled, distorted, missing, or incorrectly struck. This is where genuine mint errors can become especially interesting. But there's an important warning. Not every strange-looking mark is a mint error. A scratch can look dramatic under magnification. A dent can create an unusual shape. A damaged rim can make the coin appear to have a mint problem when it actually happened after the coin entered circulation. So, before calling something an error, you need to understand how that feature was created. A genuine mint error originates during the manufacturing process. Post-mint damage happens later. That distinction can make a huge difference. This is why good lighting and magnification are so useful. Hold the coin under a bright light and slowly change the angle. Look at the date. Study the mint mark. Check the lettering. Examine the rim and edge. Then compare what you see with photographs of normal 1962 Lincoln pennies. If something genuinely doesn't match, that's when the coin deserves further investigation. And there's another factor that can completely change the value of a 1962 penny. Two coins can have the exact same date and mint mark, yet sell for dramatically different amounts. One may be heavily circulated and worth very little above face value. Another could be a superb, professionally graded example with exceptional color and surfaces. That's why collectors don't simply buy dates. They buy quality. And this is where the 1962 becomes especially interesting. Professional auction records show that exceptional examples have reached prices that are far beyond what most people would expect from a 1-cent coin. But there's a lot more to the story than simply seeing a large number attached to the date. You have to understand why that particular coin brought the price. Was it the grade? Was it the original red color? Was it the quality of the strike? Was it a rare error? Or was it a combination of several desirable characteristics? Those are the questions experienced collectors ask. And that's exactly what we'll uncover in Part 2. We'll look at real auction results for the 1962 Lincoln penny, including an example that reached a remarkable 5-figure price. We'll also compare that result with other documented sales, so you can understand why one coin can bring hundreds or even thousands of dollars while another example from the same year may be worth only a small amount. And most importantly, we'll explain what you should do if you believe your penny could be one of the better examples. We'll cover authentication, professional grading, where you can sell it, and how to avoid accepting an unrealistic offer. So, now that we've examined the details that can make this penny interesting, it's time to find out just how far the value can go. Now we come to the part you've been waiting for. What can a 1962 Lincoln penny actually be worth? The answer depends heavily on the condition and characteristics of the individual coin. A normal circulated example is not a 5-figure coin, but exceptional specimens can tell a very different story. According to PCGS auction records, a 1962 Lincoln cent graded MS-67 achieved an auction record of $12,000. Yes, $12,000 for a 1-cent coin. That sale took place through David Lawrence Rare Coins in May 2013, and the coin was graded MS-67 by PCGS. But here's the part that really matters. You cannot take that $12,000 figure and assume every 1962 penny is worth thousands of dollars. That would be a serious mistake. The $12,000 example was an extraordinary coin at an exceptional grade. In fact, PCGS currently lists a price guide value of $1,100 for that MS-67 issue, while the documented auction record stands at $12,000. That difference shows exactly why auction history and actual coin quality matter so much. And there are other sales that give us an even clearer picture. This is why you should never judge your coin simply by looking at the year. The condition needs to be examined carefully. The color needs to be considered. The surfaces need to be inspected. And any unusual feature needs to be properly identified. Now, what if you think your penny might actually be valuable? The first rule is simple. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Don't use chemicals. And don't try to make the copper look brighter. Cleaning can permanently change the original surface and can hurt the coin's desirability with collectors. Instead, preserve it exactly as you found it. Use proper coin storage, take clear photographs, and document both sides of the coin. Take a close-up of the date. Photograph the D-mint mark. Capture the surfaces under good lighting. And if you believe there's an error, photograph that area from several angles. Then comes professional evaluation. A reputable local coin dealer can be a useful first step, especially if you simply want an experienced opinion. But if the coin appears to be an unusually high-grade specimen or a potentially significant error, professional authentication and grading can become very important. A certified grade gives buyers a much stronger basis for evaluating the coin. And when you're dealing with a potentially valuable coin, that credibility can make a major difference when it's time to sell. So, where can you actually sell a 1962 Lincoln penny? For an ordinary coin, a local coin dealer may be the easiest option. For a better quality example, you can also explore established online coin marketplaces where collectors actively buy certified coins. And if your penny turns out to be an exceptional specimen with significant collector value, a major auction house may be worth considering. Established firms such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections regularly handle certified U.S. coins and can expose a valuable piece to a much larger collector audience.